Hello students, welcome to Trunkie Academy. We were studying about the animal husbandry, and with regard to that, yesterday's class we studied about the dairy farming or cattle farming, right? So today we'll study about the poultry farming. Okay, so there are questions, and the questions are asked from this chapter, from this poultry farming or cattle farming, or from the chapter of this animal husbandry. Mainly objective types of questions are asked. Also uh, uh, some kind of short answer type of question are asked. Okay, so this is not a very difficult chapter, but since from examination point of view, and also from the point of view of knowing the concept to some extent is important. Okay, so poultry is a class of domesticated fowl, okay, used for the food and their eggs. Okay, so the common poultry birds are chicken, turkey, ducks, geese, pigeon, etc. This comes under the poultry farming. These birds are used for poultry farming. Okay, eggs and high quality meat serve as the cheap sources of animal protein. You know that there are 21 types of amino acids, that is from which this protein is made up of. Okay, and there are certain amino acids that is not being formed or produced in our body, so these amino acids must be supplied through diet. Okay, so these I mean the meat from these is poultry birds forms the cheap sources of animal protein. Okay, so the tremendous rise in the availability of poultry products is called silver revolution. Okay, so you have heard about the green revolution, right? And silver revolution means the tremendous rise in the availability of poultry products. Of poultry products is called silver revolution. Okay, you have heard about the green revolution when there was a systematic and proper management for growing crops. Okay, the techniques were evolved. Okay, pesticides and fertilizers were evolved, and then was systematic growing of crops in large uh, quantity. That was called the green revolution. But in case of silver revolution, is a tremendous rise in their ability. Okay, the growing of the poultry birds, and they're procuring their products like eggs and the meat. Okay, so that is the silver revolution. Now, what are the different types of birds that comes out of poultry? But like I told you, the ducks, geese, the hen, okay, the chicken, etc. These are the poultry birds. So here also there are different varieties. Like we study in case of the cattle. Okay, there are the indigenous and exotic. Likewise, here also we have got the poultry breeds, the different breeds. So first we have to go through the indigenous breed. Indigenous breed. In sometimes I have observed it in some examination. I have observed that the questions are asked based on this indigenous breed or exotic breeds. Okay, and also about the different types of disease in poultry farming. Okay, that also we will study. So indigenous are also called desi, means Indian, okay, desi, Indian, indigenous, okay, not exotic. So breeds, and these are the asil, okay, then Chhattisgarh, okay, then Buroza, Kadakand, Kada, Kadakand. Okay, these are some important uh, indigenous breed, and they are used for poultry farming, right? So, just 1 second. So that was the different types of indigenous breed. Okay. Now we come to the exotic breed. White leghorn. The most famous is the white leghorn. Okay, and this was whenever we say the exotic means that was brought from the foreign countries. Okay, and that they were acclimatized in the indigenous or Indian condition in the environment. Okay, for our poultry farming, right? So white leghorn. Then we have got the barred plymouth, barred plymouth, right? Plymouth. Then we have got the black Minorca. All these are the exotic variety or exotic breed. Rhode Island Red is also very important. Rhode Island Red is one of the important exotic variety. Okay. Astrolot, Astrolot. Okay. Astrolot. And light Sussex. So these are the exotic breeds: white leghorn, barred plymouth, black Minorca, Rhode Island Red. Okay, it's a Rhode Island Red. The word red has been missed. Rhode Island Red. Okay, Australor and light Sussex. These are the exotic variety or exotic breed. Okay. Now there has been some kind of improving on the breeds also by crossbreeding. Okay, and that has proved to be very very successful in producing meat and egg. Okay? So when we crossbreed between the two important breeds, which are disease resistant and they are producing a good quality and a good quantity of eggs or whatever the desired products is that involved with that particular animals, like the meat or the egg. Okay, for that reason the improved variety are obtained by breeding the exotic and indigenous breed. Okay, so improved bird of poultry birds is the prime concern of poultry farming, which is achieved by crossbreeding through between the indigenous and the exotic breeds. Okay, the improved varieties are the number because the improved varieties developed for following desirability. Why we actually wanted to have this improved breeding. Why we need to crossbreed between exotic and, because of there are so many different reasons. Okay, the reason number one is that, like I explained you yesterday also. Okay, the number and quality of chicks, to get the good number and quality of, to enhance the number of a number and the quality of, this will not be there, number and quality of chicks, first reason. Okay, to get a large number. Okay, now the second one is the draft broiler parent for commercial chicks production, the draft broiler, because we are concerned with the meat in case of the broiler poultry birds, so we need the draft one. Okay, so we do not need, okay, because the food that we give, the feed that we provide for the growth of the poultry birds, so that will be used in producing the meat. Okay, the muscles, that is the muscle of the these birds. Okay, so we don't want the tall one, because we need the dwarf. So dwarf broiler parent, to get dwarf broiler parent for commercial chick production, for commercial chick production. Chick production. Now another number 3 is the summer adaptation capacity, tolerance to high temperature. These are also important points, because we have observed that some of the breeds of the poultry, they are not able to survive when the temperature is changing, or in the changing season also. So that's also important point. If they are adapted in a good range of temperature, okay, then it is very advantageous for poultry farming. So that means the summer adaptation. In summer, this temperature is very high. Okay, some of the variety or breeds that has been brought from foreign, okay, the exotic breeds, they were compacted, or you can say they were adapted to live in a comparatively colder climate from the different countries that they are bred. Okay, from the countries where the temperature was or the climate is not similar to the Indian climate, then they may face some kind of difficulty in their growth. Okay, so summer adaptation capacity is one of the important point. Summer adaptation capacity. So by crossbreeding, we are trying to get these characters. Okay, these changes in the new breed, tolerance to high temperature. Tolerance to high temperature. So this is the third reason that we need to crossbreed. Okay. Now number 4, reduction in size of egg-laying bird with ability to utilize more fibrous, cheaper diets formulated using agricultural byproducts. So when we are providing the feeds, okay, when we're giving the different types of food to the poultry birds, and if it is a layers, the broiler means for the purpose of the producing meat, and layers means the purpose of producing the eggs. So the layer birds, for the purpose of producing, getting the eggs, when they are provided, if we are going to give the feed for the quick growth and a good number of egg production, so there may be some kind of food that we need to give to them, feed them, that may be costlier while preparing their feed. So nowadays, the scientists and these biologists have done, that they are producing some kind of feed formulated using agricultural byproducts. Okay, so reduction in their size, because we need size egg laying with ability to utilize more fibrous, cheaper diets. Okay, so when we are targeting on broiler, so we are not interested for the eggs. So okay, so when we are targeting for the eggs production, then we are not targeting for the meat. Okay, so for the broiler, we are targeting reduction in the size of the egg, so that the whatever food they are eating, that will be utilized okay, used in the production of meat, adding muscle mass in their body. Okay, so that is another reason. So we will write here reduction in size of egg laying, and also try to understand that when we talk about the reduction in size of egg laying bird means we are not interested in increasing the size of the bird. We are interested only for the egg. So what we will do is we will emphasize on the only on the egg size of the eggs, but not on the size of the bird. Okay, so we will not give emphasis on the growth of the hen, but rather we will emphasize. But obviously, if there is a good growth, okay, we will get a variety or breed that is smaller in size but a good in production of eggs. So we will prefer that also. So that is the reason reduction in size of egg laying birds. Okay, with ability to utilize a more fibrous cheaper diets formulated using agricultural byproduct. Agricultural byproducts. Okay, so what happens now? That means these are the important reasons. These are the important point that's the reason we need to produce a crossbreed variety. Okay, crossbreed, or you can say by crossing the indigenous and the exotic, we need the improved one. Okay, why? To increase the quality of and the number of chicks. Okay, a dwarf broiler parent means so that after that the next offspring or generation will be dwarf. Okay, because not neither the tall one, because we are interested in only the products. Okay, not in the size of the legs. Okay. Summer adaptation is another important point, so that they will be able to they will be able to live and grow easily even in the high temperature, tolerance to high temperature. Reduction in size of egg laying birds. We need to decrease the size of the bird, but we need to increase the egg production. Okay, so due to these reasons, this improved variety or improved breed or cross breeding is important. Okay, now we come to the egg and broiler production. Egg and broiler production. Now, good management practices and important. This is when we are doing this poultry farming. Good management, good feed, okay, and managing the good health and hygiene of the birds, okay. Also providing the good quality feed and preventing them from diseases, okay. These are all the important points, okay, important things in poultry farming, okay. So special attention must be given to maintain adequate temperature and hygienic conditions in poultry farming. That is very important, because these poultry birds are little delicate as compared to wild variety or wild breed. So maintaining a constant relatively constant temperature or adequate temperature, and also maintaining a good hygiene. Okay, so that is very important. A good hygienic condition, that is important for the poultry farming. Okay, so there are, as I told you, two types, and both the types, layers means they produce the eggs, and the broilers means they produce for getting the meat. Okay, in both the varieties, in both the types, okay, it is important that different nutritional environment requirements are needed. Okay, so different types of feed also, different types of environmental requirements is needed in both these layers and the broilers. So accordingly, we have to provide them for the production of these egg or the meat. Okay. Now, as I told you, there are two varieties. Okay, like the broilers. Okay, then we have got the layers. Layers. Okay. So these are maintained for getting meat, and layers are egg laying birds. Egg laying birds. Okay. So they are managed for getting eggs. Managed for getting eggs. Second point is that in case of broilers, they are raised up to 6 to 7 weeks in poultry farm, and then sent to market for meat purposes. So in 6 to 7 weeks, they are ready for selling. Okay, so raised up to 6 to 7 weeks in poultry farms, and then sent to market for sale. Okay, so this is for that means they are raised for about 6 to 7 weeks in poultry farm. Layers start producing egg at the age of 20 weeks. So after the age of 20 weeks, these birds starts producing egg. These birds starts producing egg. Now this is an important point for exam. The 6 to 7 weeks in poultry farming, the broilers are raised, and then when they are ready, after 7 weeks, about 6 to 7 weeks, they are ready for to be marketed. Okay. In case of layers, since they are produce the eggs, so they are raised about 20 weeks, and then after 20 weeks, they are it starts producing the eggs. Okay. Now, so another point is that they require condition. Okay. Now in case of this broiler, since they are growing fast, need to grow fast. Okay. So the optimum condition, environmental conditions should be provided, and they require condition to grow fast and to have low mortality rate. Okay. So that is an important point. They require conditions to grow fast and have low mortality rate. okay, or low grade. Now this is the important point. Since we need to get that these birds uh, we are interested in the meat production, so there has to be optimum conditions so that the chicks are not dying. Okay, they all survive, and there is good production of these meat. Okay, so providing the optimum condition and also ensuring the low mortality rate. Okay, they all not suffering from disease. Okay, the proper food are given and they grow at faster rate. So these are the points. Okay. In case of these layers, they require enough space and adequate lighting. They require enough space and adequate lighting. Okay, so this is the point. Now, in case of unlike in case these layers which are producing eggs, okay, they need more space and adequate lighting. Okay. So that is the important point, and this point is important for example. Okay, in case of poultry bird, how it differs in condition to provide condition and how they are managed. Okay, what are different important points in the management of layer birds for the in poultry farming. Okay, so these are the points. Now, another point, the daily food requirement for these broilers should be rich in protein and vitamin A and K. That is important because since they are growing faster and we are aiming to produce meat in a large quantity. So the feed or the food that we are providing, okay, that should be rich in protein and also in vitamin A and K. Okay, so the daily food requirement, the daily food requirement for broilers is or should be is rich in protein. Okay, protein rich diet or protein rich food is given. Protein then and vitamin A and K. So these are the important. The fat contents should be adequate, also adequate. Okay, in case of these broilers, okay, the feed with fat content is also important. Fat content in feed in food should also be adequate. Should also be adequate. Adequate quantity of. Now, in case of these layers which are producing eggs, they need restricted and calculated feed with vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients. So here, so they need restricted and calculated diet or calculated feed and calculated feed with vitamins, minerals, and micronutrient. Okay, so these are the important difference that we see in management of the both broiler and the layers. Broilers are, since they are targeted to produce meat in large quantity, okay, and so they are raised up to 6 to 7 weeks, okay, and then they are sent to market for selling. In case of the layers, they are raised up to the age of 20 weeks, and also then only they start giving giving, or you can say producing eggs. Okay, so then they are continue to be in the poultry farm even after 20 weeks, because then they start producing eggs. In case of this broiler, they require conditions to grow fast, okay, and alone. This is a very important point. In many cases, what happens is some kind of disease is found, and if there kind of any infection, a viral infection or bacterial infection, so a whole lot of the birds in a group will be infected, and there is a mass, suffering from the disease, and they are killed by the diseases. Okay, so this spreading of the disease is very fast. To maintain the low mortality rate, good hygienic condition, okay, keeping them free from disease, and also providing them optimum condition that in which they grow fast. Okay. In case of layers, okay, they require more space, as I told you, and the adequate lighting. And in case of food that we provide, in that case we find that in case of broilers, it has to be protein rich and also with vitamin A and K, and along with that, even this fat content should also be adequate. It should not be very less, and that is also an important point. So, in case of layers, very rightly calculated and some restricted diet or feed is given, and which is rich in vitamins, minerals, and other micronutrients. Okay, so this was all about the comparison in management, okay, and the requirement of the broilers and layers for the farming. Now we come to the diseases. From this topic, diseases, some questions are asked. Okay, not some, many questions. I have seen the questions coming from the poultry farming. I have seen many times the questions coming from the diseases of poultry. So this is an important topic. So diseases of poultry. Diseases of poultry. Okay. So first we go to the viral diseases. Bird flu. Okay. Then Ranikhet. These are the etc. These are common diseases. Bird flu, Ranikhet. These are the viral diseases found in the poultry birds, and then the bacterial disease also is there. Bacterial disease. Fall cholera. Okay, tuberculosis, etc. Okay, then arthropod infestation. There are some kind of arthropods that are very small, like tick and mite. Okay, arthropod means the insects, cockroaches. Okay, these are the very small, and they arthropod infestation. There is lice, fleas, then ticks. They are very small in size, but not microscopic, but very small. Okay. Then there is a fungal disease. Fungal disease. So there, aspergillosis. This is one of the most common, aspergillosis. Okay. So these are the common diseases found in poultry birds, and these must be prevented, because when any infection, viral infection or bacterial disease occurs, it starts spreading very fast, and that causes the deaths of the poultry birds. Okay, so preventing from this kind of disease is very important. Okay, the most common are the bird flu and Ranikhet. In case of viral disease, the spreading of the disease is very fast. Okay, because the viral disease spreads very fast. Bacterial diseases are also spreading fast, but as compared to viral disease, it is little easy to control. Okay, and there are some kind of medicines that works well against the bacterial disease. Okay. Now, in case of arthropod, okay, they also causes problems and economic loss in the poultry farming if these arthropods are infested. Okay, so the main reason the main reason where the economic loss is found in case of poultry farming is the disease only, because of the disease. So if we need to prevent the disease, we need to maintain a good hygiene, okay, good conditions, environmental conditions where these are growing, okay, where the poultry farming is done. So these are the important points, okay. So in this poultry farming, the most important thing that you need to know and important exam is what we mean by silver revolution. Okay, what is poultry farming? The raising of birds for the purpose of obtaining meat or the eggs. Okay, that is poultry farming. And these are, I told you, chicken, turkey, geese, ducks, etc. So what was that? The hens. Okay, so chicken, turkey, and geese, okay, ducks, and even pigeon also comes under the poultry farming. So these birds are used for the poultry farming. Okay. Then some questions may be important from this indigenous and exotic breed, but most important is the disease, and also from the breed. The indigenous breed Asil, Chhattisgarh, Burosa, and Kadakanch. These are the different indigenous breed or desi breed that we find in our country, and some of the breeds has been brought from the foreign countries, and they have been acclimatized to live in the in our this Indian conditions. Okay, so white leghorn, barred plymouth, black Minorca, Rhode Island Red, and Aster lot, and the light Sussex. These are the different exotic breeds. Okay, and some of our improved breeds has been obtained by crossbreeding between the indigenous and the exotic breeds. Okay, and the why we need to do this, because as I told you, in case of the cattle farming also yesterday, we need to get the good variety, good breed. So as per our requirement, like what are the aim, and and for what reason we are doing this farming, to obtain meat and the eggs. So keeping in that in the mind, we are trying to get the particular kind of breed which are beneficial or advantageous for production of eggs and the meat. Okay, so dwarf broiler parent for commercial chick production, so that there will be the next offspring produced by the dwarf broiler will be also dwarf. Okay, summer adaptation capacity is important. Okay, because some of the these birds are not able to adapt in high temperature. They are not able to tolerate. Then there is a problem, and they may suffer from disease, or they may die also, or their growth may be very slow. A reduction in size of egg-laying birds is another important point, because we are not interested in the size of the bird, interested in getting the egg and large number of eggs and the good quality eggs. So whatever the feed that we are giving, so that is the reason we are giving the calculated and restricted feed to the egg-laying birds. Okay, to obtain the good quality and good quantity of eggs from the egg-laying birds. Okay, and as I told you, there are the different management strategies in case of the broiler and the layers. Okay, in case of the broilers, they are raised for about 6 to 7 weeks, and in case of the layers, after 20 weeks only they start producing the eggs. And in case of the broiler, their condition should be very suited, so that they grow very fast. Fast growing is another important point, because we need to produce these birds fast, and then we want to sell in the market. Okay, in case of the layers, they require enough space and adequate lighting, that you might have observed also. Okay, the daily food requirement in case of broiler, it is, since we are interested in adding the muscle mass in the bird, so That should be rich in the protein, okay, and also in vitamin A and K, and also to some extent the fat content also, okay. And in case of this the layers, the feed is given by calculating, and there's some kind of restricted feed, because we are aiming to get a good quality and good quantity of eggs. So accordingly, the feed is prepared and given to the layers, okay, or egg-laying birds, okay. So this, and as I told you, the diseases are viral disease, bacterial disease, and arthropodal, okay, or very small arthropod that cause the infestations in the body of the birds, okay, like lice, fleas, ticks, etc. And fungal aspergillosis is the most common and disease that occurs, that happens in the the body, found in the body of the birds, okay. So this was all about the poultry farming, okay. And tomorrow again we will meet with another topic, okay. So thank you for joining today and listening. So tomorrow again we'll meet at the same time. Till then, goodbye, okay.